Boker Tov, good morning. Today is Friday, March 10th, Erev Shabbat, Parshat Tisa. Tisa, and its primary focus draws our attention to the tragic story of the golden calf. We're introduced to the golden calf with these words, Vayar ha'am ki boshesh Moshe l'redet min ha'har. The people saw that Moshe tarried coming down the mountain. Vayikahel ha'am al Aaron, and the nation gathered up against Aaron in an aggressive kind of way. Vayimru elav, and they said to him, Kumasi lanu Elohim, arise and make us an Elohim, a God. Asher yelchu lefanenu, which will go before us. Kizeh Moshe ha'ish, asher ha'lanu me'eretz Mitzrayim li'adanu mehayalo. For this Moshe, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we don't know what happened to him. Moshe's tarried. He's not coming down. I spoke earlier this week about what makes someone late, the expectation that Moshe be on time, Moshe would be there at 40 days, miscalculated the 40 days, whatever it is. Moshe is not reliable. What are they seeking here? On the one hand, we have the reading that they're seeking, they are looking for an idol. They say, forget Moshe. That chapter of our little blip in our lives is over. This God practice stuff. Let's go back to what we know that's familiar to us. Let's go worship idols instead. And so they do it. But that's a strange rendering, is it not? Why turn to Aaron for that? For crying out loud, Aaron's not the man who's going to produce idols for you. You turn to whatever your old idol maker buddies would have done, right? If that's what you did in Egypt. Aaron never worshipped idols. He wouldn't be the man to give you idols. And so the sense might be that what they're looking for is maybe representation of God here on earth. Humans are unreliable, so don't ask for another human leader, seemingly. Let's get God here on earth, and so and they make an icon. Again, you'll say, why a calf and not something that would somehow be a loftier version of things? But that's what they kind of knew from anyway. And then, sadly and tragically, this is what God warns about: making figurines and idols of even what you imagine to be up in heaven, because you'll come to worship them. And that's what happens very, very quickly. It devolves very, very fast into idolatry. But I would suggest here what they're really contending is that, okay, we don't have humans. We don't want humans anymore. We want something which gives us more of a sense of reliability and guarantee. And so the idol, again, maybe is a version of God on earth, but just somehow it's just a desperate grasping for something which seems to be solid and unchanging, and will always be there, and will get it right. However, again, whatever you imagine, an idol to be able to do. And you think about our present era, in which artificial intelligence is getting better and better. There's some very weird conversations that you might have read about in the paper that have happened between humans and the artificial intelligence. I don't know what you call them, the computers that are doing it, and the conversations just get bizarre. You say, look at that, isn't that terrible? And the answer is, well, they'll get better. Because they're always learning. They're learning it's a learning process, self-learning process, and it will make fewer mistakes, and maybe they will be more reliable. Yes, maybe they will be. And so we'll use artificial intelligence, and there's some wonderful applications for it. I'm no expert on this at all, but we just read some of the important articles about how they might assist in medical treatment and diagnosis and the like. There's a tremendous amount of good there, but there's a tragedy involved, aside from our apocalyptic fears that they're going to take over humanity, and you'll never know what's produced by a human and what's not, which is a real fear. It's just like missing a point, missing a basic point. There's a world here on earth. There's a world up in heaven. Up in heaven, we have God. Okay, we believe God is here, right? God is present in this world, but that's just for the moment. We'll allow this separation: God in heaven, humans on earth. And our job as humans is to realize God in this world and do good and right. And but it's meant to be a world of humans with godliness brought into it. Experience the presence of God, but run by humans. That's what the goal of living is. It's not perfection. It's not just reliability. It's about humans being more perfected and humans becoming more reliable. And that's how we're meant to live our lives. The search for something we can call reliable, and immediately to say, forget the human, Moshe, install instead this thing, the reliable. Again, we'll put aside whether it's a foolishness about a calf, right? That is a tragic error, because the work on earth is about making ourselves those better versions of ourselves, not something artificial to do that for us. For us to do our work, for us to do our reasoning and our writing and our thinking, and have some assistance from other things to help move it along a little faster in there, but for us to not lose ourselves in all of that, in the end to help make ourselves the better version of us to live this world, in this world, under the direction of God, as humans. Hope that's an intriguing thought for you to ponder, and we wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.